Hi, so for this video we're going to start talking about loops. Okay, so first we're going to introduce the while loop as an indeterminate loop, and then we're going to go over how to use the while loop as a determinate loop, which we shouldn't really do, and then we're going to go into the for loop, which is what we really want to use when we use determinate loops. So those sound like really advanced words, indeterminate and determinate loops, but they're pretty easy to explain. A indeterminate loop, which is what we're going to look at first, is a loop, which means that it's a repeated action. So we're going to keep repeating an action. And indeterminate means we don't know when it's going to end. So we use a while loop to essentially do stuff until something happens. We don't know how long it's going to take. A determinate loop, that's going to be a repeated action that runs for a determined amount of times. So we'll be able to basically mathematically formulate how long this determinate loop is going to run, whereas an indeterminate loop, we won't be able to do that. So we had an if statement, like, so let's suppose we were working on a program where we were asked, and the first step was like, we wanted the user to enter their age. So let's say print, please enter your age. Input age is equal to input. Alright. And then let's just print it out, echo it out using print. So run this sucker. Okay, please enter your age, 600. Okay, right. Unrealistic age. Same over here if I put -5. Right, but my program's going to accept it anyway. Now, me being a programmer, I really don't want to put an upper cap on people's age. Right, maybe in the future people will learn. Sorry, people will live to be like some weird, huge age, but I'm pretty sure people aren't going to have a negative age. Right, I could tell the user that, like, you know, if age is less than 0, print pretty sure you're lying, right? There's a Boolean statement there that if they're less than 0, then we're pretty sure they're lying. So run that. -1. If age not between instances of, oh right, it's a string. So we want to take this string and turn it into an integer, of course. Right? When we input a string, when we input something, it's taken as a string, and so if I'm going to compare a string to a number, I need to turn that string into a number. Right? But I mean, maybe I accidentally like mashed my fingers somehow and got the minus sign in there, and I didn't mean to enter a negative age. Maybe we would like the user to, enter an age. Get another chance to enter in an age. So, we could do that over here. Age, let's say print, try again, right? Age equals int input, right? Okay, so now I do -5 again. Oops. Restart 5. Oops. No. A 5. Please enter your age. -5. Pretty sure you're lying. Try again. Okay, -6. Right, and it will just continue on as normal, right? And say that we're doing something like, so that's not good, right? So how can I make sure that this essentially gives them only one chance to re-enter their age, and it could possibly break the program I'm writing if there's a negative age. So we don't want the user advanced past this point if their age is less than 0. So what we can do is that we can change this from an if to a while. And that's pretty straightforward to understand. While age is less than 0, we are going to keep doing this code block. So while this Boolean statement is true, we are going to keep running this code block. In other words, it's an if statement that repeats, essentially, so long as it, works. Sorry, so long as this is true. So let's go ahead and go with this. So please enter your age, -9, -10, -9, -50. It's going to keep telling me that I'm lying until I enter something. Right? Boom. So that's what a while loop is. It's fairly straightforward. Right? There's pretty much nothing to this sucker for the basics. It's one of the unique things though about while loops is that I think you can add an else statement into these guys, which is kind of unique to Python. So 50. So I printed out foo because it didn't go through the while loop. -4, 5, foo. So the else statement can be used and is pretty much never used once it's ended. So, but why bother with that? Because you could just do something over here at the end. So don't worry about that for right now. Just know that this is a feature about Python. It's probably never going to come up. So that's what a while loop is. It's an indeterminate loop. We can use a whole sorts of conditions for this, basically making sure that but a good use of this, as you can see, is making sure the user put in some nice information that we were looking for.